an interesting discussion on what proverbs and idioms we could be using, but now we're not able to use them because we're restricted by what's being offered to us in the English language, right? And actually that kind of takes me back to the point we were making earlier about children growing up not knowing their mother tongue and they're only able to speak English. But what we're also seeing that we have both observed in the Indian society is that there are these water lily children. They're known as water lily children in that they're not proficient in English and they're also not proficient in their mother tongue. And you touched on that earlier, but I want to actually give it a term. There's a term for it called water lily children. So like a water lily, the flower, right? It has one primary stem and multiple flowers that are loosely tied to that stem. So the theory basically discusses and explains how all those flowers are the additional languages that we are acquiring during our lifetime. And the primary stem and primary root that everything is connected to is our mother tongue. And so water lily children, they're just like floating around as water lilies, and that stem, that rootedness isn't strong in them, in their mother tongue. So that's why we would call them that. And I think this was used to reference the children who immigrated to Europe, I think in the 18th, 19th century, where their parents were speaking to them in limited English and limited understanding of their mother tongue, and so they were not proficient in any of the languages. And that's the same thing that we're also seeing in India right now, water lily children.
Is that a new expression though?
I saw it being used in 2 articles, but it's not that widespread. But I like the analogy, so I think it makes sense to bring it up. But there is, in that article that I read, it said that a Finnish linguist came up with this. Tova something. I forgot her name as well.
Yeah, so that means there are lots of water lily babies coming out of India.
Exactly.
Right? In the Indian diaspora, you could say, right? Mm-hmm. Because they don't know their mother tongue, and they're also not very good in English. Mm-hmm. They're not very articulate. They're not very fluent. And they also probably don't have enough of public communication skills. They're not used to probably speaking in public. So that is also an issue. But yeah, this is a scourge, because this is when your language is not good, then your expression is not good. The thoughts that you express also will not be well formed, I feel. When your language is not good, your thoughts will not be formed properly because you're not articulate. You see, and it's so important as a skill. Orators can simply sway everybody when you speak well, right? When you're able to express yourself well and touch the hearts of the other people, you actually exert a lot of power on them.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's water lily babies are, I don't know what's your future going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite pathetic. I don't know if I'm also a victim of that, knowing so many languages, and then English also introduced to me, so that there's that mix-up and confusion that we all have in us.
Though a child should be able to learn many, many languages at a formative age. So the mother tongue along with 3-4 languages is very easy. I tell you, when you go back in history, you'll find a lot of people who knew like 15 languages, 20 languages. It was very common in those days, right? Even just like 50 years, 100 years ago, people knew a lot more languages. So it's just recently that this has happened, that people know fewer and fewer languages. And when you lose a language, you also lose so much of knowledge. Right? There is like the medicines, there is this has been documented that when a language dies, there are so many languages that have been lost, right? You actually lose things like, because they are naming everything around them in their own language, all the plants around them, and so they know what plants are toxic, what plants should not be touched, and what plants should be used for what purpose. So when that language dies, that knowledge dies. So I was reading somewhere that you are probably losing the next miracle drug because you have lost a language.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic that we've gone from that to like this degenerate way of speaking. Like when I hear them speaking Hindi, this weird Hindi-English mix in a lot of the English-educated population in India, where it's like they'll say something like "Us light ko turn on karo." Like what's like that's all English, but there's some weird Hindi mixed in it as well. I mean, I'm also guilty of it. I feel like I'll use the English words and then I'll use the Hindi grammar.
Right. So in fact, when your father wanted to learn Kannada, so I had asked my little niece to teach him Kannada, and the way she was teaching him is, idu table lo, idu fan lo, idu sofa, and I said, hey, you're speaking in English, you're not teaching him Kannada. But that's how she knew it.
Yeah. Is there any other example of what you've heard in India that you didn't particularly like?
Yeah,
the
like
way
you
it was
know
spoken?
the way like मेरी mother बीमार हो गई है.
Instead of मेरी माँ.
Yeah. That mother, father, brother. I don't know why they don't say these things in
Yeah.
that language. In Hindi, it's very common in India.
Yeah.
I hear that. मेरे brother चले गए थे वहाँ पे. मेरे father आने वाले हैं. और they say father की death हो गई. You know, that kind of Hindi. So I think I saw it. You were mentioning about Archie's.
Yeah, I started watching Archie's. I think you walked away in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was based on an Anglo-Indian community, but I think it still reflects the society of, I mean, how you speak English and Hindi. And I know a lot of comments under the Archie's said that sounded so weird, them speaking a mix of Hindi or English, but that's exactly what we observe and see in our society. So there's this like scene, you haven't seen it, but it's the showdown between the Betty and Veronica, so played by Khushi Kapoor and Suhana Khan. And then, if I'm remembering the dialogue right, it was so pathetic. But she was just like, "Mere father sirf books nahi bechte hain." And then she was just like, "Mere father बच्चों के personalities को shape करते हैं."
Oh God.
And like you could actually use the word for personalities or shape.
But that's the way people speak. So
yeah.
it was reflecting reality.
Exactly. And then she says a little bit later, this is the worst, where she's like, लेकिन अपने फादर को देखो, जब आप अपने फादर के साथ बात करते हैं तो आपको सेक्रेटरी के थ्रू जाना पड़ता है.
Oh my God, even through, even that word through.
Yeah. Maybe we'll play the Archie's dialogue. I might have butchered it.
मेरे फादर बस बुक्स नहीं बेचते, वो बच्चों की सोच को, उनकी पर्सनालिटीज को शेप करते हैं. He actually cares about them. और तुम्हारे फादर से बात करने के लिए तुम्हें भी उनके सेक्रेटरी के थ्रू जाना पड़ता है.
It sounds so pathetic. Maybe I might use it and I won't know it sounds so bad, but when you see other people using it,
so it's not just a diaspora problem. It's an
Indian problem as well.
Yeah.
Indian, like the English educated, city bred. The new Bollywood stars that are coming out, it's like they don't even need to know English. I mean, they don't need to know Hindi to be part of
I heard
Hindi
that even the
industry.
Scripts are being written in I heard that Bollywood scripts are no longer in Hindi movies are being written in English.
And then if someone translates it
no, the whole thing is written in the Hindi words are written in English language. The script is English.
Wow.
So they don't write in Devanagari anymore.
That's also really bad. Yeah. Oh. And then also this movie Anatomy of the Fall that we watched. It's about it's a really great movie, by the way. It's one of the best movies I've seen in 2023. And I love how language is used as the plot device to bring out the complexities of marriage and power structures in a marriage. Like, I've never seen language being used so well, the language barriers being used so well in a movie.
I love that movie. And there was this scene where the mother is speaking in English to the child and the child replies in French. And I watched it for a few minutes and I said, who does that? And the next minute you looked at me and then I realized I used to speak to you in English, in Kannada, and you would reply to me in English.
It was the same thing.
Yeah, it was that situation there.
But now we didn't see what that would look like to a third party.
Yes,
maybe
it looked weird
and pathetic.
Yeah.
But in the movie, the mother is a German whose native language is English, and English is like the language she's most comfortable with. And then and she knows a little bit of French. She understands French. She's living in France, and so her kid knows French really well because French is all around them in France, and his dad speaks in French.
Yeah,
that's why all that weirdness, because now the child only knows French very well, doesn't know English that well. Mother only knows English, and so they're just communicating like that.
Yes. So that is very unfortunate. I really hope that such situations don't occur. One thing I do know is that in schools all over the world now, international schools, the teachers are telling the parents to speak to the child in their own mother tongue. So they are being instructed that do not speak in English, just speak in your mother tongue to the child. And when the child comes to school, we'll speak to them we'll teach them in English. So that way they will learn all the languages.